And that doesn't stop there. We've got loads more today. I'm going to be chatting to KSI, Swarmz, and so many more VIPs that you absolutely need to hear from. Make sure you get involved. Hashtag DAZN X Series. And I'll see you soon. In the meantime, back over to Big Zoo.
There is an absolute packed and stacked fight card coming your way. Yesterday we saw the fighters face off for the final time before they go head-to-head in a few hours. Joe, let's run through the 8 fights and see what we made of the face-offs. We've got some clips coming through. Oh, this kid, KSI Swarmz.
So starting off with the Swarmz KSI face-off, it was meaty. They both looked ready for action. Obviously, Swarmz with that push. Did it phase KSI? That's the thing. I mean, you think not, he was smiling it off as we're about to see, but then he does go in for a little one for himself. So
push.
You know, and what do you think of that? Is that necessary? Does it make it more entertaining?
I like the push. I don't want to see no violence before the fight. We want to keep it in the ring, but we want to see the animosity. We want to see the anger. We want to see that vigorous nature. I like that Swarmz took off his watch 17 times.
Yeah, mate. He was wanting that protected.
It was a bit weird having a face-off with Swarmz. I was thinking, what about Pineda? There wasn't really a lot of... I don't feel like that fight has been...
No, and I think that's the thing. Obviously, he's a pro boxer, but the big part of it that you can take away from the influencer boxing is that energy, is that personality. Do you know what I mean? And that's what we saw a little bit more from Swarmz, but that is what definitely does need to be involved if you're going to make it big.
Yeah, but, you know, Swarmz is lapping it up right now. He's acting like he's actually been in professional boxing his whole career, and he was made for this because, you know, the chat, the way he's reacting. Swarmz gets a lot of stuff, a lot of stick for not talking a lot in interviews, being quiet, owl hand, big up 9P. He always disses him for being quiet, but he's actually been very vocal. Yeah, and I think that's important. Look, obviously his boxing ability has not had the experience that it needs. Right, let's be real. So he's going to have to compensate for it in some way. And that is obviously going to be with his mouth, with his body language, with his, you know, imposing himself in that way. But look, I think experience will show for JJ, and he will dispatch of Swarmz pretty comfortably. Did you get to listen to his diss track for KSI? I did. Yeah, what did you think of it? I wanted more bars, mate. More bars? I wanted more. Do you know what I mean? Because it was a little bit, you know, it was good. You had the hook there, but it sort of just repeated itself. And I like the beat too. It was good. So Joe Weller is a boxing man, but also a musical genius. Also a drill artist. A little bit of both. Okay. Listen, we got more clips coming through. Have we got more clips coming through? Oh, Dean the Great, Evil Hero, instant push. Instant. And this is an interesting one because Dean the Great, he is looking so technical. At the public workout, he looked fantastic. He's got all the composure, all the swagger. He's having the little digs and set up jokes that he's pranking his opponent with, which I think they're quirky, they're interested, and they're different, but none of that matters tonight. I feel like Dean the Great he's got the energy. But Evil Hero he's coming on the dark vibe. Dark horse. You can't underestimate anyone in these fights. Not at all. Not at all, because it's not just the fighting, mate. It's the occasion. Yeah. Right. It's the O2 Arena. It's a sold-out crowd. Exactly. And that has its effect. Yeah. And the fans pick their favourite. You know, you've experienced that before, innit? Of course. Mate, I entered the ring, the fan favourite, Weller. Right, the whole you leave it, and how this world is. End of the day, it's who's on top that they're going to chant for. The main card is obviously full of incredible fights. What fight are you most excited for? I'd say FaZe Temper. Yeah. Right, he's not done a lot of talking, and Slim. Right, he's been saying all this stuff, trying to really get to him. Both of them are quite technical boxers. Yeah. So I am looking forward to that one, but also Deji Fuzi. Oh yeah. There's 2 comeback stories. They're both wanting to put it right. Yeah. And that's going to be an emotional one, I think. Sam Hyde as well yesterday. There's a lot of talking about being wet as a dolphin. Lovely wet dolphin. Right? We love that. Yeah, here he is. He's crazy. And look, this is what it's all about. Yeah. He's you know, a platform where a guy like that can come forward and be like, look, I'm here to box. I'm here to put my strange personality across in all its colours. We love it. But for 2 big fellas. Yeah. They're in good shape, bruv. Yeah, man. Yeah, and that's what it's about. Like, you know, these guys are training. If you look all across the card, people are in shape. They've dedicated to this. They want to put on a show. And that is what it's about as well. It can't just all be about the money and the clout. Yeah. Do you reckon that Hyde is a bit more into the fight than I am Thompson, or is he just playing a game? So this, right, we can't judge too much based on what they're like at the weigh-ins. You know, you may be trying to either conserve energy, play it down. You may need to get yourself in that zone, like we saw from Sam Hyde. So everyone's different, but from that, you'd say Sam Hyde's more comfortable in the limelight.
Do you feel like the fighters are nervous right now, getting ready to fight in the O2 Arena? Or maybe the fact that these guys are used to putting themselves out there to millions of people, that this can be an easy job?
So the difference here is there's no editing.
Yes.
Right, a lot of these guys,
like
they're used to pressing that edit button, get rid of that one, and we'll do it again. Whereas this, it's in the moment, it's in front of the crowd. And right now, there'll be a roller coaster of emotions. 1 minute feeling, people can get, oh, I'm not hungry, and not fuel themselves properly. So there's a lot going in. Like you're going to see a very more technical fight, staying on the outside, using the jab, trying to evade the danger. And yeah, I think that one could go to points. And I'm seeing FaZe Temper winning that.
Do you feel like Slim may be a little bit too emotional right now for the fight?
Honestly, yeah. Like when you're exerting all of that adrenaline, nervous energy throughout fight week, you're going to need a rest day at some point. And if that rest day comes at fight night, your body's like, nah, I need a rest now. And you're not fully pumping the same, you may live to regret that.
FaZe Temper, very well calculated yesterday. Controversial fight before with Mr. Kenny.
Yep.
He's going in there, he has to prove a point.
100%.
Do you reckon we may be able to see a little knockout?
Well, I'd like to think like all of the guys on this card are going to be trying to put on that show. But what their trainers will be saying is, forget that, forget pleasing the people, you're not here for them. Only you are going to take that loss if you don't get it right. So they'll be going stick to your boxing. If the knockout comes, it comes.
I'm gassed for this fight, I'm not
Me
going to lie.
too, me
Our
too.
last fight of the evening, KSI back in, Pineda, the pro, the Mexican pro. I mean, their face-off was pretty chilled, I guess.
Yes, I mean, it's difficult when there's a language barrier. Obviously, KSI with the vamos.
He kept telling him, vamos.
Yes.
He used to work on his Spanish.
Sí, estaba tratando de hablar con este hombre, pero no entendía lo que estaba diciendo. But he tried, and that is what it's all about. Look, he's trying to get into the head. Vamos. He knows that word. He's trying to enforce himself. And look, Pineda does look a little bit out of his depth, I can't lie.
Yeah. But do you reckon this fight could maybe surprise us and turn into something a bit more than
I'd like to,
what we
because,
expect?
you know, what he lacks maybe in personality, he will definitely have in boxing ability. He's a professional boxer. And we saw at the public workout, he was delivering very devastating combinations, showing that he can punch, put some things together. I just want to see it on the fight night.
Do you think it's a bit of a risk for KSI to be fighting a pro?
Yeah, but that's what it's about. If you're not taking risks at this point, and it can only be 3 rounds each. People are a little bit like, there needs to be more of a test than that. You know, it's almost like a half-time break.
Yeah.
Whereas like a 6-round fight is consistent. And if anything, a bit more challenging on a cardio and mental game. Obviously, he's going to have to overcome the adrenaline dumps of the hours of breaks, or the 2-hour break, whatever he's got. But he should come through both of them.
We'll see. It'll be very interesting when I can tell you that the fighters are starting to enter the building, and the main man of the night is here, and he's speaking to Joella. Joella, not Joe Weller.
Yes, that's right. The main man of the night is here, KSI. He walked in actually singing, looking real comfortable. I feel like you feel calm right now.
I'm very calm. I'm very calm. Obviously, I put in a lot of work, a lot of training, and yeah, I can't wait to get out there and knock out 2 people.
That's the maddest thing of this whole situation.
It is very mad, yeah. But with KSI, you always have to expect mad things every time, baby.
100%. Now tell me about training, because you said you've been training hard, right? What are you doing? How are you getting prepared for this first match, first fight, specifically?
It's actually funny. We're actually releasing a video tomorrow on the Sidemen channel, where the Sidemen, not including me, are training like me, as in like they have to train with everything that I've done, so they get to see the training that I've had to do for these 2 fights. So yeah, like circuits, I'm talking sprints, I'm talking long distance running, I'm talking bag work, just a lot of training, and this is like me doing it every day. Right. So it's not like super long, it's nice, an hour and a half session each day. Sometimes they do double sessions. But yeah, man, I'm prepared. I mean, look at my physique.
I mean, you look really good.
I've never looked this good.
Oh,
I've never looked this good.
I mean, for 2 fights as well, do you know what I mean? That is so confident. Swarmz is talking the talk, though. He's saying you're going to be surprised. Do you have no doubt whatsoever that you're going to knock him out?
He's getting knocked out. Like, I want to smash his face in, and it will happen. and there's nothing he can do about it. He can try and swing like a madman because he is the madman, but as soon as I get in that ring and he sees my eyes and he sees my fist repeatedly punching him in the face, he's done.
So what, he's not going to get any hit in then? Is that what you're telling me?
I mean, he can try and get a hit in, but it's probably best if he doesn't.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. So that's the Swarmz fight, right? How are you focusing on one game plan at a time? Because you got another one. What are you going to do in between? What's the different tactics?
Well, I'm pretty much used to having to change my tactics. You know, obviously I was going to be fighting Alex Pasabi, but he pulled out. So I had to switch it for another fight and another fight. So with Pineda, you know, he's a pro boxer. He's got good range. I know he's got a good left body. And, he's going to be a bit harder, if not a lot harder than Swarmz. So we have to be a bit more concentrated and stay focused. But we've got a game plan to make sure we take him out.
Oh, I'm so excited to see this. Now, quickly, just talk to me about what this whole thing means for crossover boxing.
I think it's incredible for boxing in general. Like, it's so many more eyes to boxing. You know, we're getting a new audience, you know, entering the whole boxing scene, getting excited for the whole boxing scene. Younger audience as well, getting involved, getting excited. And, I think it's great for the whole of boxing because everyone is just, you know, enjoying the moment and enjoying everything that's going on. So.
All right. And have you been, watching Pineda's fights and, you know,